joined with Rory Quinn from Yukon Metals. Rory, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
So gold is off to quite a run here. The last time I saw, we had 11 of the last 12 days gold was up. Today looks like it's going to be up. There's a little bit of volatility, but it could be 12 out of 13 days, knock on wood. You run a company that's focused on precious metals. So I have to ask the question, what's going through your head right now when you're thinking about the price of gold?
Yeah, it's certainly an accommodative price. I think there's for a company like us that's exploring copper, gold, and silver, right? It's certainly a good time. We've had a good time of being able to raise capital in these markets. We've raised just over $26 million, and so look, I think it's a great time, right? There's capital there for folks like us to take big swings, looking for big systems for copper, gold, and silver.
So we saw one really big transaction today. Of course, everybody's talking about Tech Resources and Anglo American. Do you think we're going to start to see some of that capital trickle down to the juniors?
I think it's a good sign when you see this consolidation. I think it's generally been a good sign for the space. And yeah, I mean, I think that's what tends to happen is you get the seniors get fully capitalized, right, and that why you got your real tier one companies with the best balance sheets and all that tend to get capitalized first, and then you get down into your real quality mid tier producers. So but yeah, that's what happens in a really healthy market. You see that money trickle down, and you also see these kind of companies getting like really being able to create value for shareholders, right? If they're performing, they're executing, they're really able to provide value for shareholders.
Now, you and I first met last year
Yep.
at the same conference. The company's changed a little bit since, but still, there's going to be people who are going to be going through our Beaver List playlist. So, for those people, maybe you can give them a quick little 2-minute elevator pitch for the company.
Yeah, great. So the genesis of Yukon Metals, which it's important to understand the opportunity, is that it's the Berdall family portfolio, mining portfolio. The Berdalls are the family behind Snowline Gold. Ron and Scott Berdall built this portfolio of assets, and they floated the primary gold assets of Snowline Gold. Keith Newmeyer, who I know you're familiar with, he helped structure that from the financial side. So when a couple of years weren't terribly accommodative in the market to raise capital, but last March, April, we put Yukon Metals together with the balance of the Berdall family portfolio. So copper, gold, silver, lead, zinc, critical metals. We inherited, well, we transacted on 17 different assets. We've focused on three this season, so we've just been drilling three projects this season. Star River is silver gold, uh, incredibly high grade silver, almost 11,000 grams per ton silver at surface, 101 gram per ton gold. We are now getting into, we're on our third drill pad right now. So lots of core being sent to the labs, lots of assays. We think we're really into something there. Some real we're drilling into silver mineralization intersecting gold mineralization. So there's a chance for a twofer with these drill holes, right? We're intersecting silver and gold in two different rock types. So that's Star River. Birch, which has really excited the market. We put out Birch news. We think we have an intact copper porphyry there. Huge gold footprint at surface, which, as you know, it tends to be, an intact copper porphyry will have that enrichment layer of gold close to surface. So we had a 1,400-meter long gold in soil anomaly up to 0.99 gram per ton gold. So almost a gram per ton gold in soil. We've now been drilling through that using some induced polarization for targeting, and we've been in skarn on every single hole. So, and now we think we've got a strike here of 750 meters. We had 1,400 meters of gold in soil. We just through drilling, been in skarn every time across 750 meters. And so we feel really good about the model we're using. I think we're just starting to show the potential for scale there, all right, just with one skarn, and there's the potential for multiple skarns, and these can follow along, like I said, for well, kilometer plus. We're getting into skarn mineralization as shallow as 25 meters, and then we're in almost 50 meters of continuous skarn mineralization between 250 and 300 meters. So we feel like we've really honed in on this skarn. And I mean, a skarn just by itself, even without other skarns and the porphyry underneath it feeding it, can be economic size and grade just all by themselves.
When we think about skarn resources
Mm.
around the world, what are some of the names that you'd think of?
Like this, I mean, we're still working to understand this, so I don't want to draw too close of a parallel to what other folks are doing, because I mean, we just have 5 holes into this, but I mean, I mean, skarns, yeah, in this case, I think fed by a big porphyry. It's a big porphyry that's relatively close by, would be Western Copper and Gold's asset, right? That casino. We would be quite happy with that size and that they have, and we think there's a potential for higher grade.
So, in terms of the overall drill program in 2025, how many meters are we talking about?
We announced 9,000 meters. I think we'll come underneath that. We had to work with the Ross River Denny Council to get an exploration agreement done on Star River, and so we were about a month behind in the drilling there to get that transaction done. I mean, it's well, agreement done. It's great that we now have that in place, and it really bodes well for the future, but it did delay our drilling. So I think we're probably going to be closer to 6,000 meters across the 3 assets. And so what this season looks like is we're drilling for discoveries, right? And in the Yukon on a class 1 permit, you're limited about 10 people in camp. You're limited in the amount of drilling you can do and the amount of person days. So the purpose here is to come out of this season with multiple discoveries, and then next year we get into a class 3 permit, up to 50 people in camp at one time, virtually for virtually unlimited drilling for our purposes. And right, so we will just be able to do a huge amount of resource drilling. So that's going to be the opportunity. And when you get those class 3 permit, you have it for 10 years. One asset that I haven't mentioned yet is AZ. That's another huge copper gold system. We've just got copper all over the place, malachite at surface all over the place. 3.5% where we've been drilling. That's only 6 kilometers away from the Alaska Highway, so really nicely situated. We feel that's got excellent potential to be a project. If it's a project, it's 6 kilometers away from the Alaska Highway down to Skagway Deepwater Port. So really, really well situated. And that's really how we focused in on these 3 assets of the 17 that we transacted on, is potential for real scale, real substantial scale, grade, and then proximity to road and power.
All right, so last question for you. If I am an investor watching this and, I'm looking at Rockla Metals, I'm looking at Snowline, and I'm seeing how much these stocks have moved. I mean, you guys have some pretty strong returns over the last year. I see it's up 108%, 36% in the last month. Perhaps I'm thinking, okay, there's a pretty interesting opportunity here. But I wanted to just kind of sit back and watch if management does what they say they're going to do. What's my checklist here if I have you guys on my watch list and I just kind of want to follow along for the next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good approach. It makes sense to take a portfolio approach, right? I mean, Snowline's obviously very advanced, built a world-class gold deposit now in the Yukon, and so yeah, that is a real cornerstone in your portfolio, right? You have these building blocks. With us, it's earlier stage, right? So we think we've done a very good job of advancing 3 drill programs at the same time. It's early. If it takes some digging into, and I think that's what some shareholders have done, into, well, these guys are getting into the right rocks, and this has the potential for real scale. So I think that's why we've seen a rise from 38 cents, which we started at, and up to 80 or 90 cents today. So we've really created value pre-assay. But yeah, it's early. I think you can watch as really from here on out until the end of the year, Steve, and into January, it's going to be assays. Right, so people are going to be able to see the assays as they come in, and that's the truth machine. Right.
Is it fair to say you guys are whale hunting? That if I'm an investor, I'm looking for what's really going to move the needle here? Because let's be
Yeah.
frank here. Exploration in the Yukon is not cheap. The bar here is pretty high for what you guys have to hit in terms of if I'm watching this and trying to get myself excited.
Yeah, big systems. Whale hunting is exactly right. So that's you're right, and so we want to make sure that the shareholders' money, right, that we take care of it, and we are looking for a good return on investment, and so we're really targeting these big systems. So AZ and Birch are big systems. Star River is more low hanging fruit. You're talking about silver and gold outcropping, I mean, 10-minute hike from the road. So kind of a different play there. But yeah, no, I think that is really what's exciting people. It is early, but I think people can tell that we've built a really good team here. We've got a superb group of investors. You've got the Berdall family portfolio behind it. They're our biggest investors, and also you see the background and success they've had. And so yeah, I think a lot of things coming together at once, and I think people can look forward to, by all means, follow us, see the assets come through.
Last question, I swear. Is the Berdall family actively involved in the exploration program?
So Scott has a full-time job
At Snowline, I
at
can imagine.
Snowline. Yeah, no, I mean, so very much arm's length there. Ron has been very active. I mean, we just had an investor tour, high net worth investor tour, led by Keith Newmeyer and our team, and that just went very well. I mean, we performed quite well on the back of that. I think Star River showed really nicely, and people got to pick up some really heavy, shiny rock, and that always makes people feel good. Yeah, so no, so yeah, so Ron came and met everybody. He meets with our team, and so yeah, I mean, Ron's obviously a phone call I always answer.
All right. Well, Rory, thanks very much for hopping on here. I imagine our audience is going to be watching this story closely because we've seen quite a few stocks moving out of the Yukon, and knock on wood, hopefully you guys are next.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for hopping on.
Cheers. Yeah.